Watch the magic, bro. This is how this thing goes. So I've just hit the record. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to... this is a double episode, so it is Living Truthfully. And what's the name of your...
TJ Talk.
TJ Talk.
Yeah.
This is a combination, What a Guan.
What a guan.
And in studio with me, or rather in my house.
In the house studio.
In the house studio with me is Mr. Tony Ngatiare himself. Makofi tafadhali.
Thank you very much.
Bro, karibu sana.
Thanks, man.
Welcome to my humble residence.
Asante sana.
It's good to see you.
Same here, man.
How is COVID pelekeng you?
Hey, well, my hair has grown, so at least that's one positive thing.
Yeah. We didn't know you had hair. We could grow hair.
Yeah, people always telling me, you bald, but there's no balding, my friend. Head full of hair. I'm looking younger.
Yeah. I don't know how you are. I don't know how COVID is pelekeng you, but I hope you're safe. Not just you, Tony, but even you who's listening. I hope you're safe. I hope you're following the protocols. Number one told us to not let our guard down. He said we keep our masks on, we keep sanitizing. This thing hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's probably here to stay.
Yeah, it actually is. But the thing about it is, since we're here, that's one thing to thank God for. At least it's a start.
It is.
So for me, it's actually been a blessing in disguise because now I've managed to basically kick some doors open, stuff that I wanted to do from before. So
like this. Yeah.
Here we are. Yeah.
So we're on TJ Talk.
Yeah.
And on Living Truthfully.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever done a double episode of anything. Of anything.
Double up.
Okay, maybe not everything.
Yeah, Mom, just close your ears on that one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I eat two pieces of chicken at the same time. Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah, double whammy.
Yeah, you're teaching me things, man. I think I need to buy one of these things.
And I'm going to show you how to podcast properly.
Properly.
But this thing it's amazing. And I'm so grateful that I have it. Sorry, this guy is calling me. I can't pick his call. So it's Eddie Kimani. He's my boy, Sana.
Even he's supposed to do one of these, so I don't know. Should have told him, boss, you should have been here also.
I could call him.
Yeah.
I call him.
Actually, call him, yeah.
Hold on. Let me show you.
This is a full radio.
Let me show you.
Radio and TV hosting. 101.
Let me show you what to do with this guy. So this gadget allows me to do like this. Oh, it's already connected. So it allows me to do like this. So hold the line.
The person you have called is not reachable.
I don't know.
If you wish to leave a voice message, then please do so after the tune.
If he calls, we're going to pick up.
Yeah. So as I'm about to say, I know we should have coined it as TJ Talks Living Truthfully with Amani Maranga, or Amani Maranga Living Truthfully with TJ Talks.
No, because you're my elder brother. Are you? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 39 going on 40.
We are the same age. When did you turn 39?
November 18th last year.
Oh, okay. So you're my elder brother. So because I turned 39 this year.
Okay.
So since you're my elder brother, I start with TJ Talks.
Good job.
Living Truthfully. So it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
This has been a minute. We've been saying we're going to do this for a while.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to talk to you is first because I think you've been very bold. Okay, I think you've been very bold. So obviously, Living Truthfully for me is about Jamal's just being real. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the good news that I had the other day. So rumors reached me. Okay, they just came looking for me. Me, I wasn't looking for them.
You're minding your own business.
Me, I was minding my own business, and boom, rumors reached me that you've gone to see a certain mzee.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Who's mzee is this you're going to see, and why?
Now, this mzee, usually we say when you're traditionally, you say, in fact, I remember trying to give this analogy, and then you don't want to call people goats and cows. Because I say, they don't have all those things. Yeah, exactly. Like, now, are you going to call the chick a goat? No. And
that thing is so wrong.
It's very wrong.
On so many levels.
My guys were holding like, so like, oh, no, don't call her a goat. Don't call her a goat. But yeah, so I decided to pick up myself and jump in the deep end again, man. These things having been what we've been through, having gone through divorce, most men would actually be very, very against. They'll be like, not for me, not the second time and whatnot. But for me, I'm like, there's a reason why we meet the people we meet and we feel the way we feel. And sometimes there's no script to this thing.
You and I were probably going through divorce at around the same time.
Yeah.
Though, I think so, though I think yours came a little later. But it was around the same time. I was reeling from mine when yours was happening.
Yeah.
And why I think you're bold is because I honestly think you have a good head on your shoulders. I don't think you're mad. Okay? You're a little crazy.
As a disclaimer.
But I don't think you're mad. I don't think you're frivolous. I mean, I think you've been very intentional, at least when I've watched your career. You've been very intentional about what you've built for yourself.
Yeah.
And I saw you, I mean, in a sense, also with your first marriage, you were pretty intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my mind, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But why the hell would you get married again so soon? Why? Like, what's wrong with you, bro?
Well, sometimes, you look back and you think and say, people did for 7 years, get married for 6 months. Yeah. Other people have been friends forever. You get married, and then in a few months, this thing is a wrap. So I'm the thinking that there's a reason why things have gone the way they have. 1, 2, this person is willing to accept you with all your baggage and all your issues and everything. And at the time, I even told her, hey, I think you need to get a chap who is below baggage, who is probably even younger than me with less issues and whatnot. So, but funny enough, she stuck by me, partially even with, and even plus even my kids more or less accepted her as part of being in my life. So I'm just like, you know what? And it's also not about me. It's also about her, because you also can't now Nima the other person based on your experiences, because that's where we also go wrong as dudes and chicks, because you'll be like, it didn't work out this way, so no, not going to get married again. I'm not going to have kids. You go get a vasectomy, blah, blah, blah. So then you carry your baggage to your new person.
Listen, don't judge me and my vasectomy.
I'm not judging in your vasectomy.
I'm going to have it.
Yeah, that's been a conversation we've been fighting about for a long time. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. But I'm like, you know what? So you cannot deny, because those are also deal breakers. There's some people like, you know what? Me, I want toys. Yeah. So if you don't want toys, then it's a wrap.
You can buy one.
You can buy one. So that's why for me, I was like, just jump back in again.
You can go to Malawi. Just where Madonna got them, you can get others.
Yeah, but I know they change the rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you're closer to white than I am. So, me, I'm okay. You have problems. So for me, that was it. And I figured, you know what, why not? And sometimes I look back and I say, that's why the colonizers have it better than us, because you meet him and it's like, yeah, this is my 5th ex-wife. And the guy's alive and kicking. Here, guys, Kazana with this one person, you've been thooped, or you've been thooping each other, you can't do anything. You're in rehab, you're in counseling, kids are unhappy, but you're still there. Just for the sake of this thing of the notion of, no, you have to be together. It's absolute nonsense.
I don't know if I entirely agree with you, but let me raise some questions that I'm asking myself. Okay. So no judgment. Yeah, I'm really just raising the questions I ask myself.
Okay.
So she's accepted you with your baggage, which is an acknowledgement of the baggage. Now, and here I'm not talking about the kids. I'm not talking about even your previous relationship, because I don't think that, for me, I don't classify that as baggage. I classify that as a package.
It comes with
there's no way I can get rid of this one. It's
there. It's been there.
It is with me. So what I consider baggage is the stuff that now is inside. Okay? So, how I view myself, I was a villain in my marriage. So, dealing with that, forgiving myself, just dealing with the issues that brought out whatever issues I brought into my marriage.
Yeah.
The effect of the divorce on me, okay? The issues I've dug up about myself through this process. All that stuff now is what I call baggage. Because that stuff is stuff I can work on. Okay? It's stuff I can work on and I can resolve.
Yeah.
You see, I can't resolve my children. There's no resolution there.
Yes.
Yeah?
There's no reverse on that
There's
one.
no reverse on that one. But whatever issues I have I had as a toy that I brought into my marriage, now that I'm aware of, I can
work on them. Yeah.
Whatever issues I got as I collected on the way as an adult, that I brought into my marriage, I can work on them.
Yeah.
Whatever issues have come as a result of the divorce,
and
the separation, I can work on them.
Yeah.
How do you know? So here's a question: how do you know that you're ready for the next one? And you're an improved version. It might not be a perfect version, but an improved version of the guy who was in the last one.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well,
Or is being an improved version of the last guy even a goal at all?
not really. For me, I say you don't know. You will not know when you're ready. That's one. It's like how we will say, hey, when I get this promotion and I get this moti and I've got my first digs, that's when I'll get married. And life clearly doesn't have a manuscript. It comes as it comes. So for me, I'm always of the opinion of you will never know, but you will feel this is the right thing. And also, being a bit older and doing this for the second time, it wasn't something that I just woke up and rushed into and because also the other thing people do is you use this second one as redemption for
the last one. Yeah, exactly.
And the irony of life is you're the same person. You know how they say you can't change a tiger's stripes. All of a sudden, oh, nice kitty. That guy's still going to dish you. At the end of the day, he is what he is. So you need to also use this to work on yourself as well. And for me, that's why it's like you've noticed when I was talking to Kat and them, there's a lot of stuff we talk about, the emotional baggage. And people tend to carry that stuff to their next relationships.
Yeah.
And that stuff, even from the stuff like when we were kids, that used to happen to us, that we carry to even our kids.
Yeah.
So we need to have that balance to make sure that, am I doing this because of what happened in the past? Because ideally, I shouldn't be even thinking about a second relationship, let alone serious, let alone marriage, just a basic relationship. And then you shouldn't be thinking about having other toys. Because also, I'm not saying that I was a perfect husband. No, I was probably the worst husband, of course, for my ex. Yeah, but...
but you are terrible. We all know. I'm joking. I'm playing with you. I'm joking. You're a good man.
So we all have our differences, but at the end of the day, the one thing that I've carried across with me is my conscience is very clear in terms of, yes, I have baggage, and I've acknowledged that. And it's something that we can't do away with. It's something that you fight almost every day. So for me, I'm like, you know what? This is it. These are my demons. She understands my demons. In fact, the other day I was laughing because depending on how the interaction goes, sometimes you come home and you're tight. Then you're like, did you trick her? So yes, I did. Yeah, and she can, immediately she's like, yeah, this dude today. Let me just stay on this side of the fence. Yeah. So for me, that's what it is. And I grew up in a loving home. My folks are still Pamoja. Of course, my mom still gets on my dad's nerves, and it's Maisha. There's nothing we'll ever do about it. In fact, told me, let me tell you, these are the people who is not your sister. They don't have your blood, but there's nothing you can do. You can't live with them, can't live without them.
Yeah.
So you just have to make it work. The same way I'd ask you, like now for you, because of, especially like in your past with the dad issues, how that thing and affecting now you and your kids and how you relate. Because you see, you're almost trying to make up.
I'm overcompensating the end.
Exactly.
The end.
Yeah. So how do you find that balance then? So that you're not doing things because, this girl was not there.
There's
for
no
me.
balance. Let me just tell you the truth. On the kids, there's no balance. Let the generation balance.
They balance out themselves.
My father was not fathered. Me, I was over-fathered. So we shall mid-father.
Mid-father, you guys.
There's no balance. And I'm trying. I'm trying to make sure that I do the right thing. I'm not spoiling them. They don't have everything they've ever wanted. I'm not the guy who'll buy a PS5 and chamokas for them. In fact, I'll probably buy it for myself first. Sony, if you're listening and you're looking for someone random to sponsor, That PS5.
Two people.
Okay, sorry. Two people.
Yeah.
That PS5. We are very good for your brand.
Yes. We shall.
We'll be podcasting like this.
Marketing as we're vibing. Yeah.
So you guys, what's up? How you doing?
This fortnight, man. We're just kicking ass.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, of course, I'm not being stupid about what I do with my kids, but I love them excess.
Yeah.
And I'm showing it, and I'm saying it. I'm hugging them. I'm saying, so I was telling you what the toys are saying when they come here. So it's but I think I'm worried. I'm not worried for you. I'm worried for me. Excuse me. I'm worried that if the second one doesn't work, I'll do the third, the fourth, the fifth, like that. Like I'll have a wife for every decade. This one was 40 to 50.
Yeah.
This one was 30 to 50.
My midlife crisis.
Yeah, this is my midlife crisis. This is my retirement package. Like this is like what do you do now to ensure you don't go through the same pain again?
Hey man, that's a difficult one because people are people, man, and you really don't know what pain is coming. Yeah, but there'll be pain, that's for sure. Without a doubt, there shall be pain.
So what do you do? So because you can't control the people.
Yeah.
You're the only thing you can control.
Yeah.
So there'll be pain. Will you bail?
No, you work on you because it's the same way. Initially, when I realized that this thing was even affecting my health, you go to the doc for there was insomnia, nini. Then of course, because of eating out, I've got H. pylori twice. I'm telling you, it was hectic.
So this weight loss is not gymming.
No.
H. pylori.
This is sexiness now. Sorry. Please. Yeah, no. H. pylori was before. This is eating right and centering my chi.
Yeah. Zen.
My zen and the chi. So the guy told me this. At the end of the day, those toys need you. And as much as you're trying to, do so much for them, you also need to take care of yourself. I'm not telling you don't see your kids every day because there's be a lot of up and down because you do jobo, you want to do homework with them, then they sleep, then you drive across counties, you go, you lala, you amka again in the morning, you do. It was that routine, and then you also want to work out, so your hours in your day actually diminishing. You're the same person, more tired. Yeah. So he told me, no, you work on yourself. Because of course, even you as a man, if you're not happy and your kiddos come over, even if you want to show them all the happiness and joy, my friend, exactly. Yeah. And sometimes people forget that, and people are like, oh, my kids are everything. And I'm like, dude, if you chip, those kids will have a bigger hole even. Yeah. And sometimes, kids don't even want you to do anything. Just sit there. Where you going to the bedroom? To do what? Just sit here. Exactly. So work on yourself. The other person will either come through or not come through, but you do what you can do best for yourself. And have that, make it conscious. Yeah, so that even your conscience, you're like, me, I've tried everything. I've gone to the gym, I've gone to the doctors, I've tried this, that, diet, whatever it is that I need to, if that's where the direction I need to go. That's it. As long as you're happy with what you've done, so sometimes it's not meant to be that you guys are going to be together, or or maybe they were meant to be there for just like a short period in your life. It happens. Life goes on, but you have to live life. That's the thing.
See why I say you're bold, because I don't have those guts. I do not have them. Let me just say I don't have it. This is why I'm still single. I'm at the point I don't know what it will take for me to feel ready for the next one. I don't know.
But are you single in public or in private? There's also, now we've got...
I'm single both in public and in private.
Before somebody calls in, excuse me?
The only chick who's constantly in my life is my daughter. Oh, there are two.
Okay.
It's my daughter. And then the one you've just met here who keeps his place speak and span.
Okay.
So she's an amazing woman.
Yeah.
She's the only chick with a key to my house,
The disclaimers on this show are very many. Kindly do not follow up with me later on. That's the culprit you need to follow up with.
Well, it's my housey. But I do have a spare key. It's been waiting for someone. So if you're looking for a random key for I'll at your boy.
Quick fast.
Yeah, quick fast. So, I let me say I admire you. I really do, because you have... I feel like you've lived life with a big spoon, boldly, your career in tech, in well, and I don't know that to call it tech or IT support, but you were always just this next step thing you're doing, traversing the world, and work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Like there's no night I ever went out I didn't find you. Like there's no night, and me I go out like 3 times a year.
Are you hearing another disclaimer?
That's true.
Every night. Maybe those are the 3 times I was also out that year.
Yeah. What is the coincidence? I was sure wherever I go, I'll find Gatiari. Anywhere
Public holidays, man. Public holidays. But you have to. You see, that's the other thing, because and I always say this, it's also good not to hold yourself back. If you actually want to, if you need that break to do you, because me, I'm a ball of energy. I've always been, in fact, the audience would say it's ADDHD, but it's not. But there's that whole, it's just who I am. And for me, by the time something gets me down, my friend, it has to be something that is so life-changing. Yeah. And I went through those emotions, my friend. There's a time you don't leave the digs for like 2 weeks. You get figures a point back, and now even the watches numbers are being tafuta by family members of, have you seen that guy? Naonanga tu watu wanduthi wakileta chakula. So at least he knows,
so we know
he's eating at least.
Yeah. He's alive and he's eating. He's ordering and
there's movement at least. And every so often we see empty garbage share.
Being chomolewa outside, yeah.
But it's not an easy thing. 1, 2, it's not for everybody. You see, also we also have this problem where we live for other people. Expectations of everybody else and grandeur. I've got a lot of friends who, some either divorced or some even widowed, and they're like, oh no, me until my last born is past university, blah blah blah. And I'm like, but dude, I can see you're yearning for this thing, and you've found somebody who you've been together with for like 7, 8 odd years. So you guys are practically married, but now both of you have your own little cocoons and silos. So you still want to have your cake and eat it at the same time.
Maybe that's what making it work, man.
True, but then how often does that last?
7, 8 years.
And that's it. That's your decade. That's your decade right there.
It's done.
Yeah. And then you notice that when you notice stuff that's taking your energy or taking away who you are as a person, you need to change those elements, because that's now what finishes you. Guys come and start asking, Kwani, this Amani guy is not the same Amani and you from before, Is that sound effect in the machine? It's a name as Doi.
I don't even know how that thing is. But it's sounding like that.
Sound like that.
Give me a second.
So.
Okay. Whoever that parent is needs to do something about that child.
Now, at least, as guys, it's even there's doggies. The neighborhood dogs just decide now. Last time they start calling each other. Like, dude, wrong time. But yeah, so that's what I was saying. We need to get to that point where you're living for yourself as well. Yeah. Like you say, in your podcast, Living Truthfully. Sometimes most of us aren't. And you're trying so hard to conform to expectations of what other people think of you. Oh man, my money is this guy who is big on PR, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And dude, sometimes
I've changed my title. Yani, my title has changed. All those CEO 360, just podcaster. That's it.
Not just podcaster. Podcaster of the winning podcast. What is that?
Award winning podcaster. Okay, I'll use award winning. I mean, I got a real award.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys.
Then we have to have the guys clapping for receiving. Good job.
So yeah, I mean, award winning podcaster, that's true. But I think that entitlement that corporate gives you, and I know you know it very well. And it's more like a business card, and the importance is based on a card. On a title.
Yeah, a title.
It's like it's a title deed. It's not even, and then you expect people to treat you in a certain way, because you hold this title. Yeah. That thing ended for me, man. It ended. like, I don't even want to be associated with a company. You know? I mean,
you want to build your own brand yourself.
Yeah, I'm like and I can see people looking at me with pity. I don't understand how much I'm enjoying myself.
You're easy.
Yeah, because I think just that thing of, where I'm agreeing with you is that thing of just defining yourself. Yeah? And living for yourself in a sense and saying, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to have conversations that allow us to live authentically, conversations that are truthful, and hopefully conversations that can shape, someone's tomorrow because he thought he was alone or she thought she didn't understand this situation because I do have a huge female audience. But, and if that happens, I'm happy. More importantly, if you live here feeling, hey, that was a good combo. It was not a waste of my time.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
And it's little things. And you see, the problem is we've been brought up with this mentality. Again, we go back to how we grew up as stories. There's a headmaster's office, which is, that's either the place where you go to be rewarded or to be worked on, a solid one.
Yeah.
So, but all of us wanted to have that corner office. All guys in government working, big corner offices.
Yeah.
You go there saying, I just do a small beer shout out, this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? But now you see when you're given like a small title of Mheshimiwa or something, then all of a sudden, hey, dude,
chest is out.
You can't. Yeah. And the problem is when they leave that office, people forget it's a title that they are giving those stories for, not you as a person, because you're the MP today for Westlands where you're living. Tomorrow, may I check in, I become Mheshimiwa, yes, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't
no more openings.
You open your own doors.
Exactly. And that's what guys don't get. And then by the time you realize you're done with all that BS for pleasing everybody, you go digs and there's nobody at home. Because your kiddos can't have conversations with you. You've not been there. Yeah. So they're like, okay, you guys, you're always so big. You're always hosting other Weshimiwas here. And you're not there for us. How many even of our own personal friends whose parents are high flyers now don't have even conversations with their folks? Yeah. It's difficult, which for me, I don't want that because maybe sit by the fireplace and chat with my mzee like we're boys very easily. When I'm having issues, I'll tell the guy, hey, boss, this thing.
What does he think of your new direction?
That chap is happy. In fact, me normally say they pend her more than they pend me.
Oh, wow.
Me, I'm one so they call her like, oh, I'm like, Dad, no, I'm your son. Let's go this way. Mom can call that way if they want to talk about what they want for. But here. Please keep it here. Just keep it here. So I mean, for me, and it's amazing because they've been my strongest supporters and pillars through all this. Yeah, because there's a day I remember I was coming from Zambia and I was going through the motions. My friend, I was not in a good spot. I didn't sleep like for 2 nights. Coming back digs, I used to have a driver picking me up. So as you're taxiing, you put the phone on and you're like, hey, just checking where the gas speaker is. That, do I rush out? Do I waste time as I go through customs? So the guy, I'm saying a message that I'm here. And I'm like, yeah, like where? The airport. Yeah. I'm asking, are you also traveling? Because he used to travel quite a bit. It's like, I'm coming to pick you up. I'm like, wow. Okay, the day is. I was like, no. You just be easy till they get to go. I'll take you. So like, so you can get the muti. Then as what time told me, I've just been watching and I realized if I don't talk to you, I was just hedging. I was just becoming skinnier. I was in a bad place. That's when you realize there's that, and there's the reality of people who actually know you, telling you, hey, my guy, you're not sound. Yeah. So for me, that some of those are wake up calls when you realize I'm actually not, and I couldn't even jobo. Some of those big contracts I used to have issued just like that because now, my friend, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't do anything, you can't function because your mind is not settled at all. Yeah. And that's one thing people take for granted. Palamine was telling me, sorry to digress, but there's a dude who they used to jobo with, and this guy would go to the pub after jobo. He first makes sure he's at work until like maybe 8, 9. Goes to the pub. Maybe at Guava or Tamasha Maka like midnight, then he goes and gets a vlalad. 5 a.m. that guy amkas, amazing. The guys are not seeing him in that digs. And he used to go to Jobo, either a cab or even undo the guy because he didn't want to ride in the same moti as his mama. And this is a woman they even have to is with. So COVID came. So I asked the guy, boss, but they must have, now you're forced to get back together. It's like a dude moved out. Because guys don't want to talk about these things. Guys are, you're just shikilie here. Guys thinking, Amani is such a hard worker. He's fast in the office. Last time. Like, dude, if you had a bed in the office, it'd be like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff about that and people don't talk about it. And that's why for me, when I started doing the talks, it's because I was like, let people share their experiences. Even those people who people see as glamorous also have some issues. And it's real. It's not about being all made up and spruced up in this thing. Yo, kawa, and that's it. And men need to talk. The cases of domestic violence have gone up. Depression, of course, is hitting a new high. Yeah. You guys are losing jobs. It's madness out there. And the faster you reconcile that with yourself, the easier it is for you.
TJ Talks. How's it been?
It's been interesting. I've had a lot of fun doing it. Loved it. In fact, I was like, why did I start this thing earlier? On one hand, and on the other hand, there's a lot of stuff I learned about myself and my friends that I didn't know. Some of the people who've come on are people I know. Okay, the bad side, it's not a bad side, it's a good side, is that I tend to know, I know a lot of people. Yeah. So half the time, more than half the people I'm talking to, people actually have a one-on-one conversation with.
You have a relationship with.
Yeah, but I learned a lot about some people's resilience and what people go through. And we sit there thinking, hey, things are rosy, and they're not. So it's also taught me a lot about myself. Because when I get calls, when I say, hey, you're like, I'll be like, hey, you're talking with Maranga. Yeah, see, he's also gone through these things here, and I've heard him talking about 1, 2, 3. So you give me his number, we see how I can. Yeah. Maybe there's a men's session or something. Yeah. My pals have called me about having sessions with Kat, an almond tree wellness. Some people even doing couples therapy to get to go through their stuff. Others, when I had the retired major on, they said that for them changed how they were seeing life. Until I had WAMS on, I didn't know about the adoption process and how bad things are with the Kenyan kids that are being abandoned. Yeah. So it opens up. Guys from Mr. Toa calling me asking me, give me a number. I just want to tell her she's doing a good job. Other guys, I was taking flour, nini. So it makes you actually appreciate a lot more of things that you weren't seeing. And to be honest with you, a lot of us are privileged because we didn't grow up in that hardship of now we're tight. That point, don't know what you're going to eat. So for me, it's actually changed a lot of how I even look and how interactive with certain people. Because there's things I joke about before which I can't joke about now. Yeah. Because I'll be like, that's not correct. The same, yeah. So we used to tell that joke of now you'll be married for 3 years when you're shooting blanks. Dude, some guys are shooting blanks. Yeah. So it's no longer a joke. You just can't spew out stuff like that. So it's made me a lot more conscious about how I interact with guys. Quite a bit. And even interact with myself.
Do you feel like it's helped you heal?
Quite a bit. Not as much yet, because I'd like to do more sessions like this where we have, like, say, we can have Eddie or like many jamas or even many ladies around the table and have like a group session of sorts, Yeah. And that in itself, the one-on-ones are good, but also when you hear it from different perspectives, because also now I can laugh about stuff that I couldn't laugh about before. Yeah. Hey, this time my sister and I nowadays, we check and she's like, Tony, you remember there was a time this thing was almost malizing you.
It was killing me.
I was done. She's like, now you're easy. We're laughing about it. Comments are made here and there. I just brush them off and I move on. And then, when we're in a campus group, shout out to my guys in the campus group, but some of you stop. Anyway.
Shout out to the guys who went to campus that I passed through. Power to you. I hope you're doing well.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Some passed through, some attended.
Some attended.
Products,
me, I passed through.
And some are byproducts.
Yeah, me, I might be byproduct.
And then on this group, sometimes the energy is so negative. Yeah. And then guys always try and throw in some shade in there. Oh, now some guys even talking about, you're mzee, this. Or, you guys are corrupt. You guys are dynasty. And I'm like, dude, we're all just trying to make some cash on this thing. If you're not on the same level, if you don't have anything good to say, just maintain shut up and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
What about you? This thing, has it said here?
Oh, me, it's been the most important thing that I've done for myself. I tell guys, give me ideas for the podcast. You should do this. You should do this. I listen. Then I tell them, but I do this podcast for myself. Huh? Like this thing. I'm sorry, guys, but this thing is not for you. It's not for you.
I
started this pod because I needed to express myself. I was feeling tight. The thong was tight.
OG.
It was so bad. and there's no room, you know. And I realized, so I was going through a process. I've talked about it before. It's called Crucible. So we've gone through this weekend process, and it formed a small group. And they kept asking me, what do you want for yourself? I kept saying freedom. But every time I say freedom, I'm asking myself, but who's fungiad me? But it's a thing. It's a thong that's tight. You need to chomoa the thong, you know,
and breathe.
And breathe.
You know, chicks get things like, whoo.
And I have nothing against tongues. I don't think they are for me. You know, this is my conclusion. So I realized I needed freedom. Yeah. What I meant to myself was I needed permission to say what I think. And I needed permission to say what I feel. And I'd never had that permission before.
Which means you're also judging yourself, because the idea of not saying what you're feeling is because now...
I was judging myself for sure. But also I came from a home where I didn't have freedom of expression. Okay. I tell people, when you're angry in my mother's house, you're beaten for being angry. Anger was met with violence. Like, why are you angry? Who are you angry at? You know?
Yes. You're supposed to be happy all the time.
Yeah. Even if I'm the one who's made you angry, you know, as a parent, you have no right to become angry, you know.
That I remember is
to express it even.
That I remember is when you get hurt, and then you tell mom that you umiad, and the vibokos you get, you could be holding your hand. It's literally off your body.
Yeah.
She'll take that hand and beat with it.
You had one fracture. By the time you go to hospital, you have multiple fractures. The other 3 are inflicted by your own parents.
That's when you chop at 3 hours later you're doing.
that's when So I needed to express myself.
Yeah.
I needed to be able to say the things that I feel, the things that I'm thinking. And I looked for the safest way to do it. And I decided the safest way was a podcast. Because Kenyans don't listen to podcasts. At least I thought.
Turns out you were wrong.
Turns out I was very, very wrong. And I'm glad I was. Because then it's become an avenue, not just for my expression, but for the expression of other people.
Yeah.
But more importantly, as you tell your story, I heal a little.
Yeah.
Because from your story, I get perspective. From your story, I see myself. I'm able to say, oh, maybe this is how I should have dealt with this. Yeah. Or maybe this is one way of looking at something I had never thought about before. Yeah. So I can actually say, God has been there. He has ideated me. Yeah. I've had brothers, I've had people around me that have shikilead me during my rough times. I've had friends who are not brothers, but just, good friends.
Yeah.
I've had good community per se. My kids have been a lifesaver for me. But the one thing I single-handedly did for myself that has healed me is a podcast.
And you say the podcast, but from the time I knew you, you've also gone through quite some cycles. There was a time I remember you were a pastor in training in Mavuno.
Thank you very much for coming. This has been a fantastic show. So this is the end of the show. Tony, see you next week as we do another episode with how can you bring that up?
We must have, we're talking about life facets, everything we've gone through, because I'm sure there's even stuff which I'm asking, I'm like, yo, I did that. But you had quite a, and it was actually going to be, I think you were going to make a very good pastor, if I can say that, or preacher, and you're going to have a good following and everything else. But was that part of you going through the motions, or was that, okay, let me ask you, so where were you at that point?
What was going on in my life?
Yeah.
This is still living truthfully part of this conversation. When we come to TJ Talks, we can ask that question. So, okay, I'm done. No, let me tell you what had happened. So several things had happened in my life that time. So I'd gone through a couple of personal traumas. We'll talk about that another day. I'd quit working in advertising about a year and a half before I decided to work for the church. I'd gone into business. In fact, I got into business with a guy called Robbie Bresson, who used to run an agency called X Media, which turned out to be a film producing company. And which is strange, we did a film in 2006 2007, sorry, which suddenly people are watching now. So guys are texting me, hey, you produced a movie, banner. And I'm like, what movie? You know, like I can't even remember. So X-Media. So this was my plaque.
Yeah.
It was my plaque from the desk for those days.
Okay.
Let's say, so I got married the year before, 2007. And as I've said before, Annie, you know, I got married. I made the decision to get married, but in my mind, I feel like in some ways I was under duress. I made the decision, but in some ways I feel like I was under duress because I got married to my child's mother.
Okay.
And I don't think we had given ourselves enough relational time to know each other very well.
Okay.
You know, so the decision was accelerated by a child on the way.
Yeah.
So I'd gone through this maybe 2 years of like just so many changes. You know, just so many.
Bombarding you.
And when I was in advertising, I need to tell you, I was in advertising and at the same time working in a nightclub. So I used to work in advertising during the day. Then I manage a nightclub at night. Okay?
Yeah.
My clients in advertising were Coke and Tusker, amongst others. And we did the first Tusker project film. So I was always in a club for work. So by the time I quit that and go into business, I realized I just need to change the way I'm living because it was a very fast life. So this business was good. But then I'd also found God again. I'd found a church community. I'd started serving in the church, just hosting service, which is like emceeing for the service. And I used to ask them, you guys, Aisha, do you know my reputation?
Out there.
Out there. Are you sure this is the guy you want on? And they're like, yeah, you come. You're exactly who we want.
Yes.
So that level of acceptance was very strange for me.
Yeah.
And it felt really good. And I said to myself, I want to be in a space where other people can feel like this, when I can be a part of a process that makes other people feel accepted. Yeah. That when you're in God's presence, God wants you to come to Him just as you are.
Yeah.
You don't need to wear a suit, wash your face, be perfect for Him. Just come as you are. But God loves you. He loves you too much to leave you as you are. Yeah. So you allow Him then to work through you.
Yeah.
Okay? But that part of come as you are for me was that
was everything.
That was powerful.
That was everything.
And then I used to hear phrases like, I'm not where I should be, but I'm not where I used to be.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I like that banner because it's a continuum.
Yes.
I'm not trying to figure a certain perfection destination. I don't have to be there today. So this is what happened. I've never really told this story. So in 2008, so I started a business. I joined X-Media. Then somewhere in 2007, when Robbie decided he wanted to make movies, I foolishly did not think that there was a future in film. Foolishly. And I kept thinking Robbie was such a visionary because content became king.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back to the traditional advertising agency model because that's what I knew.
Yeah. So
I set up 360 Degrees in October 2007. I got married in December. Modoni, my daughter, was 6 months old. Then post-election violence happened. And you've just started a business. In advertising, the least necessary
thing right now.
And so I found myself without anything to do.
Yeah.
But I lived very close to the church that I used to go to, Mavuno, and I decided, let me go volunteer there. Let me go find something to do. Because church is happening every Sunday still.
Keep you busy.
It will keep me busy, and I'm doing something meaningful. And it's something I believe in because of this conversation about come as you are. They've already made me feel accepted. So let me go give. And my boy Kanji was working for the church at the time. So sometimes part of the work used to be done in his office. So I'd go hang out with the guy and we'd do whatever needed to be done. But that was good because what it did is it forced my spiritual journey to go a little deeper. And it happened that at that time was when Mavuno was looking to move to Bellevue.
Yeah.
They used to meet at South Sea Sports Club. And so we put together a team of marketers to help communicate this move. And now, just tell the neighborhood that, there's a church here.
Yeah.
And we did some really exciting things. So now I find myself with like a full-time jobo. During a time.
You used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
During a time when there's no one working.
Yeah.
Kofi Annan is here. We are negotiating whether we are going to agenda 4. I don't even know what agenda 4 is,
Yeah.
Mother Karua seems pissed every day. She chomokas from that.
Serena.
Yeah, Kibaki is just like, okay. So I went into a fast. I went into my first ever 40-day fast. And it was not, I didn't actually not eat the entire 40 days. It was just I jinimad some things for those 40 days.
Yeah.
And I was asking God, tell me what you want to do with me. Because now all these changes, I don't know where I'm sitting.
Where am I going? Yeah.
And in that period of those 40 days, Pastor M came to me and said, have you ever thought about working for a church? Have you ever thought about being a pastor or working through a ministry? I was like, no. But there's no better time to have asked me. This is perfect.
Yes.
So I did like what I do most things in life I'm not sure about. I say yes.
If you learn about it later.
Yeah. So I said yes. And to be honest, it was one of the best years I've ever had because things worked in such so I was a pastoral trainee, but I was not really at the point, I hadn't made a decision that this is the path I want to do. But I knew that for this year, I want to work with the church.
I want to be.
Yeah. Number 2, a pal of mine who was out of a job, I told him, now this biashara I've started and I have like one client. So you come, you should clear this biashara for me. That year, we made so much money for that time.
Yeah.
For a one-man show. And I told this guy, you come run this biashara. Whatever money we make, we split 50-50. I mean, the biashara was just a name.
Yeah.
It was not at an office.
Yes. Yeah.
But he made enough money to live on.
Yeah.
And I was able to supplement the kidogo income the church was giving me because I had taken a huge pay cut to go work for the church. And the church had told me to go raise funds. I was like, but it's part of what what ministry is. Oh,
Yes.
by the way, that changed. I grew up a little. But the ministry teaches you some things, some skills that are not used in the ordinary world.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because some people in ministry live by fundraising throughout.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. Ministry teaches you to celebrate, not to celebrate income, but to celebrate life change. So us guys used to have, we used to have staff meetings, and then in the staff meeting, I'm like, you guys, I saw Tony come to church today. You guys need to understand. If Tony has engaged this church, and I saw him enjoying himself, there's something happening. Because we wanted to influence the people who influence culture.
Yeah.
So that was a very exciting space. Let me tell you, till today, when I go pitch for business, and I'm asked what are some of my success stories, Mavuno is one of them.
Yeah.
Whether I was going to be a pastor or not,
Uh-huh.
I think it was a bit... Aki Pastor M, don't listen to this episode, please. It was too much pressure on my lifestyle.
Too much pressure. Because you're still doing pretty much the same things.
Yeah, so, I mean, I still used to go out.
Yeah.
So imagine a guy you're with in the bar last night is a guy and you're finding in church in front of me called Pastor Amani. Yeah. In our culture, guys are like, guys used to call Pastor M and say, do you know your guy is Ikunywas?
The guy of the Dunda.
Yeah, he's a guy of the Dunda. Those days I used to smoke and then I've shikad a vuruta
That
dadani
is
switch.
get in the lungs.
My boy Sami Gishuru says one day I was with him at Golf Park.
Yeah.
So we're just about to start at 9, and I vuta kagaf, and then I tell the guy, so I'm going to become a pastor. the guy was so confused. Like what are you saying? Look, what are you saying? You know.
Right.
But that's what I like. I mean, I was never judged in that space, and I know a lot of guys found God. I found God, and God is still an integral part of my life today.
Yeah.
And I was able to kick a lot of those habits along the way, you know. But I found acceptance, and I found community that said, you know, you're gifted, and God has gifted you.
Yeah.
Come use your gifts for God as God works in you.
Yeah.
And we'll ring fence you. And so guys used to come and tell Pastor M, hey, we saw your guy smoking. The guy would be like, yeah, I know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Plus,
he's my guy.
that for me, and that's one of the reasons why I used to have issues with our traditional churches, because you're not living your life, you're living an expectation.
Yep.
And I remember having this conversation once with one of my boys' moms, and we went to see her in hospital. And we were like, yeah, Mudia Kanitheriko. I was like, we're going to Mavuno now. Then these are ladies who are my mom's ages and older, actually older than my mom. And they were like, you know, even us, we need a Mavuno. Because, you know, when you go to church, we're not taught about, this is a new guy called your son-in-law who has come to your digs. Hi, I know you've got grandchildren. You've never raised grandchildren before. So, you know, how do you relate to this new family, these new people? You've gone through life changes. Now you're no longer in Jobo, now you're pensionable. You know, so the scripture needs to be made relevant to what we're doing. So even us, we probably need our own Mavuno, or like church where people of our age can also feel that you've received the blessing. And for me, I think it was a very key thing, because it didn't matter whether you just mock at the club right there and then, and you feel you want to go to church, you pity and listen to the sermon, no one is judging you, and you go dig.
Let me tell you, the first time I went to Mavuno, I used to manage Club Galileo. So I remember going to South Sea Sports Club, and I went for all the wrong reasons. I won't say them here, but I went for all the wrong reasons. Then, okay, so there was a Chile. I wanted to Katia. She invited me for a lunch thingy, but she invited me early. So I was like, maybe it's a brunch thing. Come, it was a service, and then they had like a outreach lunch. So now, so I was tricked into church basically. So I go into the service.
Things you do for love.
Yeah.
So you go into the service?
I'm sure it was love. So I go into the service, and then I'm like,
something.
Yeah, and then I'm like, a guy is a guy for Pims, that's a guy for gin, that's a guy. I know what everyone drinks because I served them last night.
Yes.
You know.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, this is nice. It's comfortable. And I remember then seeing my boys also now from church, from when I had grown up in church in Pente. So I'm seeing some guys from Pente, and I'm like, okay, this is nice as well. So I felt comfortable from day one. So I even started going to church, even though I knew now this chick had tricked me, so there's nothing happening there. So, but since I like that vibe that I found over there,
keep on.
I'll now chomoka at the club mapema. So instead of chomoking at 7, I'll chomoka at 4. So that I can
sleep a bit.
By
fresh.
10
you go to church.
I can make it to church, you know. And that's how my life change, started. So you're right. I think there's a place for it, and I hope that, even with COVID and the way we have to pivot how we do church, and so. But I think there's a place for, especially in the urban setting, where you need a church that allows you to come as you are. And then come, then meet God. Come as you are, be open, have community. It might take you 2 years even to get involved. But those 2 years are not wasted.
Not at all. And that's the thing. We actually, all of us, even the girl who leads whatever church, to God we are the same, but all of us are dirty rags. There's no, and that's the thing which for me used to really upset me, because I'm like, why are you guys judging us? And yet it's supposed to be a place of peace.
Yeah, I told someone the other day that, and I read it somewhere, I can't remember where, but the church is supposed to be a hospital for sinners, not a showroom for saints.
And after them, look at the girls who sit on the front pews, and then they mention all the biggest scandals. oh, Mheshimiwa Amani is here. Wacha tusalimia. That time you're involved in how many scandals?
Kwanza ningependa kusema nimeona hii roof ni baya. Tutapatiana 200,000
kutengeneza hii
roof. Ignore the fact that mulisikia niliba 3 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just paying penance.
Hii 200,000 itanisaidia
kuingia biguni. Nonsense. And that's, unfortunately, that's a society that we are in now. That's why, even for me, I've actually shopped for churches quite a bit, and mostly because of the kids. Because I also wanted the kids to be able to enjoy, understand what the service is about. Not just going there and be like, this thing of Sunday video, you have to dress nicely, and there's no message behind it. So that also influenced a lot of now my church habits. Even that's now how we end up now seeing you in Mavuno.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I've actually become more spiritual as opposed to religious.
Yeah.
Because you and your faith, whether you're a Muslim, Buddhist, whatever you're born as, even those guys now are praying facing Mount Kenya, because those are what our forefathers used to do. There was nothing wrong with that. But we've been so fixed in this mindset, which is what we're talking about even like when you go through divorce and all that stuff. It's a mindset that somebody else has placed that we must live by this. The number of girls who've quit the formal 8 to 5s and are doing farming or something different, those guys are much happier.
And they're living larger than
yeah. And look, you're being told, no, man, you must marry Wajiko from this house because those guys are all rich farmers. Dude, those things don't work, man. Sometimes that's the whole thing, I think, being truthful about stuff and also seeing that people are all going through the same issues. Big difference.
They say life starts at 40. Mm-hmm. You're knocking on 40.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, like Usain Bolt, just stretching.
You're about to do the last 100-meter sprint.
I'm about to get in there,
how does it feel?
Well, to be honest, I was more, should I say, terrified of my 30s than I'm in my 40s. Because by the time I was 30, I wanted to have got married, have bought my first house, had my first kid, and I'd done all those things. But then I was still not happy, and I was not where I wanted to be. And I was a banker at the time, and I was like, I must say, this banking life is so repetitive. It's not, there's nothing exciting about it. So there was more that I wanted to do and achieve. And then that's when I started doing the consulting in the telecom space. I traveled and everything else. Yeah. And having been through what I've been through, it's like me, I've lived life more than some guys who are even 80, by the way. Married to his divorce, lose everything, try and start over fresh again. For me, it's a new dawn. I'm actually looking forward to it. And most of the guys I've spoken to, like from Valentine to Jimmy, it's that age of I know what I want. Mostly I know what I don't want. And for me, I now don't have to do things to please anybody anymore. Does this feel right? Yes. Then let me do that. Yes. Do I need to consult with somebody? Is he going to mess somebody else? Yeah. If I say no, will Amali catch a feeling? He might, but it's okay because it's not about him, it's about me. Yeah. So for me, I'm actually looking forward to this 40 business. I just need to lose this kid Dambi before 40 comes. So that at least if it comes to say, this was before. Like I was laughing because remember the photo I posted of Mr. Yesayu.
Yeah.
And I was telling Mama, you see, I had a six-pack. Yeah.
It is.
I just keep on hearing it.
Yeah.
You know, Amiona.
Yeah.
It was there. So now can you leave me in peace?
I must find a picture where I have a six-pack as well. I was Mr. Daystar.
There you go.
But, I don't know but Daystar we couldn't take but my six-pack is still existent. It's just, well protected.
Yes, very, very well protected.
Very well protected.
Same
It just, we need to ensure this shock-proof.
Yeah.
Shock-proofing.
It's special. It's special.
What are you looking forward to in your 40s?
One, spending more time with my children, because that was a bit difficult with the whole divorce thing. One. Two, because they're older now, we can vibe on a much more honest and easier level. Yeah. And they actually understand that, Baba has got somebody else, and this is what's going to happen. And then also spending more time, with my person. 2, 3, even with my family and my folks. Like the conversations I have now with my mzee are not the same conversations I used to have, when I was younger. And and just trying to live for the next decade to see what else will come out of it. Yeah, and things have been so crap, rock bottom on this one. They can only get better.
It's true.
There are no regrets. Let's just put that out there for people to know.
Yeah.
There's no regrets. I'm not blaming anybody for, sometimes you say, like in golf, all those shots, they're all yours.
They're all
Whether
yours.
it's a good shot, a bad shot, birdie,
Own them.
on them.
Yeah.
Take them, they're all yours. Take it as it is. So for me, I've accepted everything.
Double bogey is okay.
Triple, quadruple, it's okay. Take it. Now you go to the next hole. Now let's forget
start
about that
again.
one. Start afresh.
That's what I like about that game. I haven't played golf in a minute. My clubs are right behind you.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
But I haven't been playing in a minute. But that's the one thing is you can learn such lessons from it, because you can have a terrible hole, like double bogey terrible. Kwanza on a 3-par, like bad hole, and then the next one you have the shot of a lifetime. The shot that you keep looking for the rest of your golfing career.
Yeah, you're like, there's that time I remember.
and that thing has just taught me major life lessons, Bana. You wake up, it's a new hole.
Yeah.
New hole,
Everything.
tee off,
Yeah.
play your game.
Yeah.
And play your handicap.
That's it. You can get better, you can get worse, but it's yours.
Yeah. Whatever handicap you have today is yours.
Yeah.
And if you play your handicap, even if you're at 28 playing off the captain, if you play your handicap, you can that day you can be the guy who won.
Oh, yeah. You're winning a speech.
Yeah.
I like thank God and my mother.
And the guy is there with single handicap, single digit handicaps, banner, but that you beat because you are playing your game.
Exactly.
And I think that's that's such a beautiful lesson in life, banner.
Yeah. You take it and you mess up, you forgive yourself. It's difficult at times because you're like, no, what was that you're doing? Because the stuff which you do in life, you're like, no, surely, Tony. Anyway, but you forgive yourself, dust yourself off, on to the next.
And to plug in your biashara, you're doing merchandise. Are you still doing merchandise?
Yeah, I'm still doing merchandise.
How is it going?
Well, this year, because no one is meeting anybody else per se, it's really, really slow. Really slow. Last year, we closed an amazing year thinking, up and up.
Yeah.
Then Corona came. Nobody's playing golf. Nobody's giving out gifts. Nobody's even going to the office. So even signage is down. But I mean, we've got a few orders here and there for retail as well, high end. So it's keeping me busy. Let's put it that way.
Have you seen my t-shirt?
Yeah. I was about to say I can do better, but I don't know if it
Just
is
do
yourself.
better. Just do. Don't, I'll send you the logo. Okay. Just do better. Okay. Do better. I'm looking to develop some merchandise for the podcast. So, dude, if you can say
Yeah, definitely.
What other biashara are you doing? What else are you doing?
I'm also still in tech, so I'm still selling software.
Okay.
It's been really slow because most of them are like now in banks. Pretty much mergers and layoffs, mergers, acquisitions and layoffs. So that's also been quite slow, but we've got some few things in the works that if all goes well, we might still close the year on a positive, but as you can imagine, it's slow. So those are the two main things I'm into.
So how do guys reach you if they want to come and check out your merchandise, or they want to pick up software conversations? But let's plug in the merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise is easy.
How do guys reach you?
Okay, there's my phone number 0721 658 138.
Okay.
And then there's a website, hammersmithhldgs.com.
Hammersmith?
It's Hammersmith Holdings.
Okay.
But now because it's the
HLDGS.com.
Okay. So that's also, you can check out the stuff we have on that. Some stuff is imported, other stuff is done locally. We are trying to really do a lot of stuff with the leather and wood and glass, just trying to give it a more local Kenyan feel to it. And also, of course, support Kenyan biasharas. So that's now what we're pushing.
All right. So check out Hammersmith HLDGS. I'm checking it out now. .com. And support Tony and his biashara. Tony,
Yes, please.
let's do a line
Of
360. Of 360. I need to move. Let's do a line. Of let's do a couple of samples of Living Truthfully merchandise.
Cool.
And then you better buy, man.
Yeah, we have to eat, Bana. We have kids to feed.
School fees.
Fees, well, online fees anyway. And masks now that people have to buy branded school masks.
Imagine.
Yeah.
What that nonsense. Anyway, so he does really good stuff. Please check him out. And thank you so much for coming through, bro. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you also for giving me time, man. I mean, it was a nice combination to do the two together. And not all conversations are going to be, sad. No. we're normally very happy people.
No, this wasn't a sad conversation.
Sometimes we have dips in the reality.
It's deep, but it's not sad.
Yeah, it's not sad.
We have
True.
had good laughs.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Naomba kazi ya MC. I don't do many weddings.
You'll come and do for us a sample at the wedding.
Yeah. By then, tunafanya sample ya t-shirt, sample ya MC. Guy.
Get in there.
I've been busted. Boy.
Love it. No, but it's been good, man. I think we need to do this more often. In fact, I keep telling guys we need to do it like once a month, and we add in a few more dudes.
Yeah.
Have a few drinks, good laughs.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree for sure.
Keep the conversation going, man.
I really wish you the best, man. As you do round 2, Annie, I'm watching you and taking notes.
Yeah.
So you better do a pod every month. You say, okay, so this is month 1 reporting.
This is how we are doing.
Yeah. I've discovered how she farts in bed again.
Now I'm sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. But I learned how to buy a better couch.
Yes, there you go. More cushions and pillows. And the dog is keeping me company. Oh yeah,
but I'm waiting. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I'm rooting for you, and I wish you all the best. I wish you success.
Yeah. You too, man.
I hope that this one is the last one. But whatever happens ahead, you guys are my boy. I have your back.
Yeah, thanks, man. Me too. Man, life is for living, man. We need to do this. Yeah.
That's the end of this TJ Talks. This is now the real end. This is it.
The other one was a sample end. Mr. Amani.
Yeah.
There you go. As you're leaving the dude hanging, thank you very much. Thank you very much.